Oh, I'm at this stage where my hair looks like dried corn husk. That's great. So the 2 seconds that it's not balls as hot, I'm gonna be able to record this and then another review a little later. Yes. So I had a job for like 2 months, and then I was told, "Hey, we'll call you if we need you." So here I am. Uh, catching up on movies. Yeah, I saw like Doctor Strange, all that stuff. But who cares about the popular stuff that everyone talks about? Let's talk about the weird shit. So I watched. We're all going. Is that what it's called? We're all going to the World's Fair. Everybody loves sandwiches at the World's Fair. What was it called? I love how prepared I am for these all the time. What is it called? Yeah, we're all going to the World's Fair. So this movie is pretty much just like a creepypasta, a creepypasta turned into like a full-length movie. That was a weird sound. Like a creepypasta slash like Bo Burnham's 8th grade, but like the dark side of being a teenager on the internet kind of thing. Whereas like 8th grade, like it gave you like the idea of like, okay, being in 8th grade at this time with all this interweb stuff. But this is like, oh, yeah, this is what the Slender Man movie wished it could have been. Oh my god, that movie was horrible. Slender Man, oh man, we're gonna hang out. Let's call upon the Slender Man. Oh my god, are we dying? Dude, that movie was ass. Anyway, this is not. So, this movie literally has like two people in the cast the entire time, and just like some background people, and it centers around this young girl, of course, teenager, and the entire movie, you're like, it's like, it feels like this, a lot of unease the entire time you're watching a movie, like just something about it while you're watching it, you're like, just don't feel comfortable, something doesn't feel right, that kind of thing. Of course, obviously on purpose. Atmosphere of the movie. But yeah, so it just shows this girl, and she's kind of like, it's not really YouTube, but it's like online video, and she's just kind of like, hey guys, that whole thing, the first video, please don't make fun of me, it's my first video, and she's like, hey guys, I'm about to do the and she's kind of like trying to smile and trying to keep it genuine, but it's just kind of like coming off like really weird. She's like, hey guys, like really dead in the eyes, but trying to smile. I'm gonna do the World's Fair challenge, okay? Let's do it. And then you just hear a lot of like, all right guys, let's do it. I really like the little subtle details in that. I really enjoyed. So again, it's like a creepypasta thing. It's kind of like, in a sense, like The Ring, where it's like, hey guys, did you hear about this thing? Obviously, a lot of that kind of viral shit, challenges, all that stuff. And so, all you see her do is like take something, pinprick her finger, and then just be like, I want to go to the World's Fair. I want to go to the World's Fair. I want to go, 3 times, like kind of Candyman, Bloody Mary kind of shit. And then like it's just lights, it's like purple, blue, and then it just ends, and then she just kind of looks at the camera and she goes, all right guys, that was it, I'll keep you updated, all right, it's just very like, and so, she's um she's like watching other videos, and it's some dude like she's looking up other like World's Fair challenge things and seeing like what other people's symptoms may or may not be, that kind of shit. And some dude is like, I can't feel my body. So dude's just like on a treadmill, just running, very fit. He's running, and he's just slapping himself. Just being like, I can't, fucking allergies. Like, I can't feel my body. And then she films like a little video outside. It's cold. She takes off her jacket. She's just, like short sleeves. And she's like kind of like sitting on like a chair. And she's like, hey, so everything seems to be fine. He's like, and then she's like, it's like, it's supposed to be cold, but I don't feel anything. I don't feel cold. And it's like, just the way how everything's expressed. It's like, again, the unease because she's like happy, but again, like her eyes are like screaming for help kind of thing. She's like, guys, I don't feel anything. It's great. And you're like, what? You know, it was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then one night she was gonna like try to record herself sleeping, but then like she just couldn't sleep in her bed, so she like went outside to, was it the shed or something? That there was like a pool table and a projector. Anyway, she like puts on like an ASMR video, and some girl is like, hey, it's okay, go to sleep. Go to sleep. You know, like that kind of stuff. And she's like there with like her little like plushie that she has, and she's just like, you know. And then like as it's like she's slowly starting to dip. Then like, you know, she leaves autoplay on, which is just something you should never do. This movie definitely teaches you, don't ever put autoplay on. Well, she does. And then it's like some video where it's like someone addressing her, being like, hey, we need to talk, and like taking some footage of like her first like initial like, guys, I gotta do the World's Fair, you know, thing. And then, you know, make it all like blah, 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 blah. She ends up contacting this person. You know, I think they're on Skype or whatever not. This movie decided to bring back Skype. They were like, no, no, no. We knew who was there first. Not Zoom. Skype. You know? And so, she and this dude are, like, talking. The dude, like, doesn't show his camera, like, his face. His drawing is definitely, you know, the creepypasta kind of drawings. Bless me. And, you know, they're talking about all this stuff, and then, like, he's like, hey, I hope you're okay. Keep making videos so I know you're fine, or like keep updating everyone. He's like, but I wanted to talk to you, like that kind of stuff. And it's like, okay, she has like someone to talk to, because she's very lonely. Like, you never see her parents, you know? Like, there's one part where you like hear a supposed dad, because it's like, it's 2 in the fucking morning, you know? Because she has like like, they say it's an attic bedroom, but it's not really an attic bedroom. It's just the bedroom, the only bedroom on the second floor. I was friends with someone who lived in a house like that. Very weird. You go in, not really a living room there, just a bunch of rooms. Like, you go in, there's a kitchen, and then it's just like, oh, there's a bedroom. There's what? I'm confused by this. And then they're like, I go upstairs, and I was like, oh, the upstairs is your room. Okay. Like that kind of, one of those kind of houses. Very odd. Not what's going on here. But anyway, yeah, so, yeah, you never really see anyone else. And she's never really, like, you never see her, like, go to school. But then again, a lot of it is, so the movie is filmed, obviously, very, you know, kind of guerrilla style. But not in a bad way, not like, wow, you know. But like, oh, okay. And then there's a lot of stuff that she filmed. So it has, like, a kind of documentary found footage-y style, which again also adds to like the creep factor, the uneasiness of things, because when you go from like her perspective, like her vlogging perspective, to like, you know, third person perspective camera, you kind of have a moment where you're like, oh, okay, you know, kind of stuff. Because initially I thought this movie was just kind of like a Paranormal Activity 4 thing where it's all just through the laptop camera, but then it's like, okay, they decide to, like, I don't know, invest in an actual camera for once. What was I saying? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so you don't really see her, like, going to school or talk about school, really, even though, like, all this is happening during, like, late November, December, and all that shit. It's like, I don't know where she is, but she's like, I'm not school, what's that, you know? So, like, things progressively just get kind of odd. So she's also watching a video from this guy who, I love that his choice is to just sit in his bathroom and put the camera in the hallway. You know, just so you have, like, it has, like, a feeling of being recorded vertically because of the door, but there's, like, the wall and hallway, but this camera's, like, it's, like, yeah, it's, like, this, and he's just sitting on the floor of his bathroom talking. Anyway, yeah, so she's watching his videos, like, kind of, like, seeing how it's going with him, and it's kind of going weird for this guy, because at one point he's like, oh, this thing on my arm, you know, he's kind of, like, doing that, and then they change cameras, and you see it looks like like if it's like moss or mold or something growing on his arm, and then all of a sudden he's like digging in under the latex, effect thing, and he just starts pulling out. Oh, and it's wet. Starts pulling out like frickin', like carnival tickets. I kind of want to recreate that. Just the fact that it was wet is what got me kind of like. Ugh. Anyway, I need to recreate that. Anyway, and he's just like, but he wasn't like, oh God, what is this? He was just like, ah! Like it's just laughing, happy, smiling. Again, the uneasiness of the movie kind of thing. And she's just watching it like, oh, okay, that's what I'm expecting to happen to me. It's like very opposite of, what's it called? Rings? Not the sequel one, but like the little short movie they did between the first and second American remake of the Ring movies, and it's like the teenage boy who's kind of like doing that, like vlogging his experience, and they're like, oh my God, do you see the ladder? Like that freaking out. Whereas this one, they're just like, oh, okay, But again, like the experience of wanting to go to the World's Fair thing, maybe that's what it does, and just kind of just kills any of your emotions, Oh, and then, like, again, they'll show, like, autoplay of the YouTube and stuff, and it's stuff like original footage, bracket reel, of, like, the original game, and it's, like a 8-bit, like, car thing, and then you start typing in, want to go to the World's Fair, it pops up again, type in, I want to go to the World's Fair, type in third time, I want to go to the World's Fair, and then it just, like, ends, and you're like, and then... So, she does end up filming herself sleeping, and the guy that she's talking to, it's like 9 hours of her sleeping for 9 hours. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I mean, I'd love to. But he goes like, look here, like it was like 4 or 5 hours in. All of a sudden, like the girl, like she just like wakes, like her arm slides off the side of the bed, and all of a sudden, like she just like kind of again creepypasta, like uncomfortable face. Like thing off the side of the bed, and I was like, Jesus Christ. And again, it wasn't just like, oh my God, like when you watch it you're just like, alright, which I feel like a lot of times is scarier than just a kind of thing, yeah. Oh, and then she records a video where she's just like, she's like having fun, and she like plays a song, and she's like dancing to it, and she's like singing to it, and she's like having a good time, and then like in the midst of it, all of a sudden she's like, just like starts screaming, like bloody murder screaming. And again, I'm wondering, is there no one in the house? Then again, are you going to school? Like, what's going on? Like, anyway, she's literally just like, goes in the scream, and then just like without even like a beat, like missing a beat, all of a sudden she screams and then just goes back into dancing. She's like dance, like back into it, and I'm just like, okay kid, sure kid, So at one point, the guy that she's speaking to, like, you as the audience, you know what he looks like. He's like a middle-aged dude and all that stuff. And it is, again, kind of creepy because it's like, yes, on one hand, he just wants to make sure that she's fine because he's like, I'm the creepypasta guy, which is kind of weird to say. And, like, around, like, it is creepy because then around, like, his monitor is all the little weird creepypasta doodles, like his icon. And then he has a lot of little statues on his, like, desk shelf of, like, clowns, which, red flag, And so then he's like talking to her, he's like, hey, blah, 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 like trying to talk to her. And then she's like, don't ever talk to me again, you're a pedo, like all that stuff, which reasonably so, he is a middle-aged man and she's a teenage girl, so, there you go. So at one point, she's recording herself, and, like, she just puts on, like, she just starts putting on, like, this white makeup. Just, like, white, whatever shit. Just smushing, like, fucking cream cheese on her face or something. And then, because her room always has, like, black light or whatever. So, of course, that thing's, like, glowing. And so she's just, like just kind of, like, looking really weird, And then her little stuff, like, sloth thing that she carries around with her all the time, like her comfort thing. All of a sudden, she's just, like, starts ripping it, like, goes crazy. Like, the stuffing flies, like, good on her. Like, that was some good shit to, like, get the stuffing to fly. And then, like, she picks up, like, the eye, and that's, like, you kind of see some, like, promo material where she's, like that. Yes, phone. And she's, like, doing that, and she picks it up, and then it kind of, like, it's like she disappears, like, this part of the, like, so she's there, and then you see her just kind of, like, dip down like this, and then, like, the camera doesn't do anything, because, you know, she had it set up, and then suddenly the light turns on, and then she's running up the stairs. It's like, how the fuck did you get around? Like, you don't see her go around or downstairs, but somehow, I don't know, time passed or something. She bolts up the stairs, and she's like, what? Like, she did, like she had no idea she just did all that stuff. Touching her face, like, what the fuck is that? Sees her stuffed thingy on the floor, and she's like, oh no, what did I do? It's like when she start realizing, like, oh god, I'm truly not in control of anything, you know? And pretty much, like, the movie kind of ends with, like, the guy being like, oh yeah, she finally contacted me after, like, a year. And I was just like, what? And it's like, yeah, she told me that she was in, like a psychiatric facility for a few months, and then only when she contacted me felt comfortable talking about it again, and da-da-da. And it's like, oh, okay. Because probably, like, you know, like, family who were supposedly there finally figured out that there's something wrong with the kid. I mean, I get it, it's a teenager, they're weird, but also, you know, and then they actually, like, met up in person and talked, and it kind of was like a quick epilogue about how, like, she's fine, he's fine kind of thing, and it's like the movie kind of ends with you just kind of thinking, like, okay, you know, because again, this is like kind of like a creepypasta thing turned into like a full fucking movie, which again is fine. It's not bad. I was just kind of like, you know, immediately, you know, you have creepypasta vibes. You know, people are just spreading it around, like how some people didn't realize it's creepypasta stuff, and so they're like, I remember, like, normies were telling me about, like, oh, did you hear about, like, the real reason, like, the thing about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like, he actually died, you know, or, like, the SpongeBob thing, or, like, the Rugrats thing, where it's all Angelica's head, and I was like, yeah, guys, that's creepypasta, that's fake, it's fake stories people on the interwebs, wrote, and they're like, no, like, no, like, I got it from, like, this website, like, super credible, guys, but, there was one review, there's one review I liked that said 8th grade, but make it r/no sleep. It's exactly that. This is sort of like if 8th grade was a genuine horror film. I mean, it's true. It's exactly that. It's like I was thinking of that too when I was watching it. I was like, this feels like the movie 8th grade, but nothing is positive. Like, nothing. It's just, well, I mean, this movie's a little bit more honest about how weird the internet is, you know, but, yeah, anyway, so that was We're All Going to the World's Fair. It's a very odd movie. It's a very small indie movie, but I enjoyed it. Like, there's not a lot of movies like that nowadays, because it's like, it's okay if you keep a movie kind of small and, you know, bottled and only a few actors kind of thing. Like, the girl was great. You know, she did a great job. I was, like, convinced that she really was, like, you know, and then the guy, you know, he played, I mean, it doesn't help that he looked the way he played a creepy guy really well. And I mean, you also were kind of, like, you were on both sides kind of thing. But anyway, yeah, that was a movie. Done talking.